What's up, guys? PDC here, and I'm sorry I haven't uploaded in like a week or so, but I've been sick, and as you can tell right now, I'm still kind of ill, and I really didn't have any energy at all. I didn't have any time during the week because I was sick, and I had to take midterms while I was really sick, and I'm still sick now, and I'm just shoveling the snow and all day. It's just been a mess of a week, so I figured I would get some time to record this stuff. Right now, this is my SPL Week 2 game, ORAS versus boudouche. Once again, the series was already decided at this point. We won, so this game really is pretty, it doesn't really matter at all in the grand scheme of things. It's completely indifferent to the actual series result. I'm just using some balance shit. This team is admittedly not very good. I really was not very confident in it, but the team that I built, it was weak to so many things, and I was afraid he would use them. It didn't have an ice resist outside of Heatran, but it had a lot better response to Gyarados and Garchomp, stuff like that. So I don't know if it would have been a better choice overall. But anyway, he's using a pretty offensive team. It's really cool, actually. I really like the color scheme. It's funny, but I like it. I think the team looks really cool. I like the idea of Magnezone plus Weavile. And the Kyurem B Gyarados core is pretty interesting. Gyarados I don't really like much as a mon. I feel like, generally speaking, it never does anything, but that's just me. So we're going to start off the game. He's going to go ahead and leave it as Garchomp, which, judging from his team, I guess it'll be an offensive variant over a defensive Rocky Helmet variant. I sent out my Mr. Self-Destruct Mew, which, yes, the 9-inch nails names are back. I just decided to wisp it, and seeing it's not Lumberry, I thought, okay, maybe it could be a Rocky Helmet version, you know? So I decided to switch out to I believe my Clef here, because I'm afraid of a Dragon Tail. You know, I don't want to get him any momentum or anything like that. And, he instead decides to Swords Dance. So when I see that, I think, okay, he's either Yacha Berry or Life Orb. And my Clef is actually physically defensive, so I'm not too afraid of taking this hit while he is burnt. And Earthquakes, and even though he is burnt, he is Life Orb, so he's going to get a boost from that. He's actually going to do quite a bit of damage to me. So Clef, I thought Clef would be really nice to have around, because since it is physically defensive, it's a good Weavile buffer, good Kyurem buffer, good pretty much everything buffer on his team except for maybe Magnezone. Clef at full health can switch into and not be destroyed. But he decides to go to Magnezone here. I'm going to switch out to my Latias. Reason why is because I figured he would Flash Cannon, and I know that even if he specs, my Latias, which is Mega, is not going to give a shit about this Flash Cannon. Once it's Mega Evolved, it's not going to be taking much, and I actually had HP Fire on anyway, so I could beat it regardless. He's going to decide to switch up to his Kyurem Black. Now, when I see this, I'm like, okay, obviously Mega Latias rarely carry Dragon moves, which is something I gotta change. I gotta start packing my Draco meter on this thing randomly, just because people switch into Dragon suits so freely. But I decided to switch out into my Clef. Now, in hindsight, I probably shouldn't have went to Clef, you know. Now that I'm feeling, I probably shouldn't even let Clef just die. I really shouldn't have. I should have went to Mew straight out, honestly, because Mew was special defensive. I was a little scared of an Outrage, but I figured he wouldn't have went for it regardless if he went for Outrage. So Clef could have been at 50%, and it could have been much more healthy for the entire game. But I go to Mew here, and he's just going to go ahead and Ice Beam me. And as you can tell, I am a special defensive Mew, my favorite type of Mew. And he's not going to be doing very much to me. The only thing I fear is a freeze. So he's going to go ahead and Ice Beam me, and I'm just going to go ahead and burn him, meaning his Outrage is, of course, assuming he has it, because this is either A-Dest or Scarf, and judging from the damage, it looks like it's a physically inclined Scarf version, so the burn's going to help me out a lot. So I actually decided to go for a Wisp here again. I knew that he couldn't 2-hit kill me from this point, and I thought that it was possible that he would go for the switch here. Since Mew was relatively low, I thought it was very possible that he would try to do a switch to gain momentum here. But now that I'm 31%, I considered wisping a third time and catching maybe a Latios or a Weavile, but turns out I just go for the soft boilers. He does win the Weavile. If I burn this Weavile here, honestly, that could have been game, but as you can see, it's not what's going to end up happening. So I'm just going to sacrifice my Clef here. There's really no reason to keep it around. I mean, it's a 16%, and Weavile is a huge threat, and I can't really switch my Ferrothorn into it because he is always the looming possibility of my ass getting trapped, and I do not want that to happen. I actually really have no Weavile counter on this team that can't be trapped, and Ferrothorn's not a counter since it takes like 40% from knockoff, and if it has low kick, then it can only switch it once, essentially. I go to my Hippo here, and I go for the Earthquake. I know that I can't be OHKO by Latios. I'm a little worried about Calm Mind, but when I really thought about it, there was no way it was Calm Mind, because looking at his team, he needs the defog very, very badly, because if his opponent gets spikes, Stealth Rock up, and has a bunch of switches, and he can't immediately break the team, he's going to really suffer the consequences. So he's just going to go ahead and Side Shock me. I'm just going to slack it off here. I'm a little worried about this game. Honestly, it would have been nice to just trap that Latios there, but as you can tell, I never do. I just decide to keep scouting and slacking off. Now, here I decided to go for a slack off again, because I calculated this and I knew Ice Beam would not be killing me, especially considering how bulky a Powdon is. So I'm going to actually take the Ice Beam plus the slack off left recovery, and it's going to end in a decently comfortable Hippo position. I didn't really lose much. I only lost a net 10%. So I'm going to switch out here and go back out to my Mew, which I still don't want to be frozen, and he's not going to be doing very much to me with his Ice Beam. So I'm in a pretty comfortable position again. Now, he's going to decide to switch out this time and go out to his Magna Zone. I'm not fearing Magna Zone, it's just a buffer switch to Volt Switch in the Weavile, so I decided to go for the knockoff, make sure it isn't strong anymore, and now Hippowdon can switch into it relatively well, and I think potentially even Ferrothorn could beat it if I have Protect, but he's just going to go ahead and Volt Switch out to the Weavile, obviously. But once again, this Weavile, I have no switch to it, I have no good counter to it, so I'm on the ropes. I go to my Latias sack. Latias is the only thing that I really can afford completely losing. I don't need it anymore, really. I mean, it'd be nice to have around, but I really don't need it, so it's my sacrifice here. And as you'll tell, this is where I make a bad play. Now, I send out my Powdon, and I decide to go for the Stealth Rocks. And surprise, surprise, Boudouche has Swords Dance. Now, the reason I went for the Stealth Rocks is because I got kind of greedy there. I wanted to get the momentum on Gyarados and weaken it and Kyurem, and he gets the Swords Dance in my face. So that was a bad play on my part. If I Earthquake there, I don't think it would have killed, but he would have only gotten one kill out of it, so I could have sacrificed something else and kept whatever mana was around instead of just completely decimating my team. So this was a bad play. The reason I Stealth Rock was I wanted to be kind of risky at this point, and I thought that I was kind of at a disadvantage, and if I got this Stealth Rock up, it could put me in a good position. But really looking back at it, the only thing it would do is force him to defog any earlier or anything like that, so it wouldn't have mattered, and I think him going for the Swords Dance there was a very ambitious play, and it definitely put him in a great position, assuming I Stealth Rocked or if Earthquake didn't kill him. So if I Earthquake there, game could have changed directions completely, but as you're going to tell in the next couple turns, I kind of get my shit stomped in. Obviously, a +2 Weavile is going to kill my Hippo with Ice Steel Crash, no matter the bulk, and now I'm just really a lot of trouble. I go into my head like a hole, my Ferrothorn here. And at this point, when I see the mag come out, I'm like, alright, it's over. There is no possible way I'm going to win this game at all. I mean, he's just going to trap me, and that's going to be it. I set up spikes as many hazards as possible, hoping that it's even, you know, maybe just a little possible that I can somehow salvage this game. But just looking at, you know, what the events are, it's obvious that it's over. Boudouche brought a very good counter team to me. You know, he said he expected me to use the Pharaoh Clef type of style of team, and I did. I brought it out this week. And that's pretty much going to be it, guys. I really can't win. I thought it was possible for me to win, but Weavile is just going to decimate my team. Even though he defogs and I managed to kill the Latios, I knew it was over. There was no way I was breaking the Gyarados, Mag, and the Weavile, especially the Weavile. Weavile is the most annoying one. All it needs to do, Mag, is just Volt Switch, and then Weavile can wreak havoc. Because I can't let Mew die. Mew is my only way to win this game. So I'm basically forced to go to my Tyranitar here, and T-Tar is obviously, it's not going to die from Weavile, but it's going to get rid of its Choice Scarf, so no longer for any speed on this team, and it's really just going to force me to be in a position where I really cannot resist being set up on by the Gyarados. Now, it would have been possible, I can tell you that, it would have potentially been possible. If I doubled to my Mew there on the Gyarados switch, and I Wisp, it could have been possible, but I still kind of doubt it that I could have won this game, but it's going to be it. So I asked for all the Wolfpack luck to come to me, and I superpower predicting the Mega Evolution, but I don't get the crit, which is sad. Not really. It was a good game, Boudouche, and if you remember, this is actually my second game versus Boudouche in all of SPL, and he's just going to clean me up here with his Mega Gyarados. So it turns out I guess Mega Gyarados isn't completely shit after all, but this puts us at a 1-1 all-time record in SPL, and yeah, that's going to be it. So me and Boudouche, good game. I thought it was pretty hot. I brought a pretty shitty team. But hopefully for week 3, I got something in the wings for week 3. I really do. I got something that I'm much more confident in. I do want to apologize that I've been losing a lot lately, and honestly, I can say that it's a result of me, one, not having any motivation at all. I've really been kind of out burnt out on Pokemon, and I hate to say that as a person who signed up for SPL, but I really it just hit me. I'm just like, all right, I really don't give much of a damn anymore. I was on my A game through, I'd say, every single second in 2015 up until that McMegan game, and after losing, when you lose in a big tour, in a pretty deep in a big tour where trophies at stake, you know, and you just get crushed. Well, not crushed, but you lose generally, and it's just, it hurts. It really does, you know. It can knock some of your motivation down if you really wanted to win. And after taking a pretty long break from playing, you know, ever since I lost that game, I haven't really touched the game that seriously. You know, I've just been fooling around and stuff. You know, it definitely hurts your motivation to lose and then just come back and then lose again and then lose again. But I feel like I got a better stuff up on that. That's just some pro tips. Any of you guys that plan to do tours, be motivated, because I can tell you this, that there's one thing that can beat a good player, it's a motivated average to new player. That's why if you're new or whatever and you're motivated, don't think that you're just going to lose to these good players, because chances are these people who are, you know, on the hierarchy of we've been around for years, the chances are that they are not nearly as motivated as they were back when they were first, you know, newer or younger players, you know. That's how it is, and I think that's a tip that anyone who's playing the tournament scene, especially for this OST, should listen to, because if you're motivated and you are spending hours or whatever amounts of time testing your teams and building, like I was in SPL 6, like I was in Smogon Tour 19, like I was in Smogon Tour 20, like I was in World Cup, and chances are you will do well. It's really just, it's recapturing that motivation that you have to be great at this game and putting it to use is what makes people continuously great players. Because trust me when I say this, there's being good at Pokemon and there's being great. And being great involves being good and having the motivation to continually do well and build your stuff and be prepared and really look into who you're playing. Anyway, that's my little end of the replay tip, I guess. I don't know. Hopefully you guys find it useful. I mean, you know, there's big tours coming up, so I don't know, put it to use. And anyway, I'll have some more videos up soon. A guest narration from Flaming Victini will be up soon as well. And I'm probably just going to edit this, render it, and go to sleep because I am feeling like shit. And I got to shovel the whole driveway tomorrow. And it's just, ugh. This is how I spend my weekend. Ill after midterms and sick. Ill and sick? Okay, I'm gonna cut the video off now. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you all on the next one. Peace.